Good evening and welcome to Gunner Shot once again. We're going to have a slightly long session, three topics intend to cover because for a few days I might just not be available because I have to go and educate a few of our army officers on what's happening and sign a few MOUs. I'm going to be traveling, and hence I thought let me do, and maybe I'll do a lot of triplets or three or four subjects simultaneously so that I'll thereafter put it out in 20-minute packets to everyone. Right. We're going to talk of three issues. The tariff war update, assuming interesting proportions. The Munir's rant. Well, we know he's spoken quite a bit, and we'll go into details. Everyone has analyzed it in a particular manner. My view is completely different on what's happening in Pakistan. And then we're going to talk of monetizing surplus defense land because I think certain wrong ideas have to be set right. And I'll put up my point of view after that, Bhagwan Jane type. But let's start the whole process. The trade war, it started as a trade war. It's no more so. And I've proven it time and again. Trump is after a bigger game. The latest dimension in this trade war between China and USA, or tariff war as they say, is COVID in space. Things are getting interesting. The way I look at it, Trump is fighting a multidimensional war and Xi Jinping is unidimensional. Let me put it, as per Chinese theory, combat space is limited, but war space is huge. It encompasses multiple dimensions. Trump has occupied all those multiple dimensions and he has completely avoided the combat space. And for the first time in all these years, you see China on the back foot. Every day he's coming out with something and China is not able to catch up. We've all known China to, execute, gray zone activities. We've known them to execute, salami slicing, public three warfare strategy, all that. All that is out of the window. Let's be very clear. That's the way this war is going on. And this is a war, make no mistake about it. So let's start. First, the lab leak. Now, the White House has come out with a lab leak theory or a proclamation to say that it was this entire COVID was from a lab leak in Wuhan, XYZ. Though the story in the proclamation says, Fauci, the guns are trained on China. Let's have no mistake about it. No mistakes. The guns are trained on China. What's the chirp in Chinese circles? There might be a investigation, a reopening of the COVID-19 thing. Something about, international crimes, crime against humanity. There might be a commission which will be made to sit down. Maybe someone in the CCP is going to buy it. Will it be Xi Jinping? For war crimes or crimes against humanity? So this whole story has taken a slightly different turn. I hope people understand. Now China has to defend this lab leak theory again. In the past 3-4 years, everyone had forgotten about COVID, all that. But we know it was Xi Jinping who ordered, when this whole thing happened, that internal travel in China was banned, right? And external flights were allowed to go. When they knew that this was spreading. And this is one thing which Trump and company have latched on to. And they will rake it up. If not rake it up, this becomes a huge leverage now for USA. Why? लड़ाई दो तरफा होता है, two-sided, so it's on. Right, now let's get back. So there's a new front which has opened, COVID. We'll see how it goes. This is Kyushu. What is Kyushu? Kyushu is the holiest of holiest media of China, where Xi Jinping gives out his thoughts, and this is it's for selected circulation. Things come out only after some time. And in this, Xi Jinping's visit to Malaysia, Vietnam, and Cambodia hits the headlines, and it is declassified. Normally, it doesn't happen, all these things. It gets declassified. So, what does this chap say? Very, let me make it bigger. Let's just understand, because this is important. Xi's first overseas visit this year are of great significance. So, what is the so great significance of this? Now, he's gone there and spoken community of shared future. He has spoken of Chinese reliability was unreliable USA. He's gone to Malaysia, he's gone to Vietnam, and he's gone to Cambodia. Why these three? These three are the ones which are under the maximum barrier after China, or tariffs. Maximum tariffs after China. Why? Because everyone in USA considers these Vietnam, Malaysia, and Cambodia as the laundromat of Chinese goods. Washed. They are washed there, converted into their respective countries, and pushed to USA. And USA is very aware of it. So they're not going to let go. And he's fighting to keep them together. Vietnam has already started speaking to USA. So will Malaysia. Because Malaysia, the thing about ASEAN is that ASEAN has trade ties with USA, but security they depend on, ASEAN has trade ties more with China, but security they depend on USA. Okay, so this is where now they're caught. And if their tariffs, everything is not taken off, they are finished. They can go back to cavemanship. So, well, China can do what it wants. Now, remember, Trump is attacking the periphery, and pretty good. Right. What next? Let's see what's this.
You are worried about
This is Trump's view.
closer to China as a result of this. This week we saw Chinese President Xi Jinping visit with 3 other allies. Should you be worried that
No.
they're going closer?
No,
Will you pick up the phone?
nobody can compete with us. Nobody.
You said that was really with President Xi. Why not pick up the phone and call him and make a deal?
Oh, we're going to make a deal. We'll have a deal. I think we're going to make a very good deal with China.
Do you guys reach out to him?
I think that you will see we'll make a very good deal with China.
Mr. President?
So he's very clear. He'll make a deal with China on his terms. You'll see it. And he's not bothered. That's what the reporter asked him. He's gone to Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, and are you worried? He said, no, I'm not bothered. Let them go. So that's where it is. So that's where this whole story is. And then China comes out with this. Is there a silver lining for China in this tariff war? Okay. And in this, they say, look, is this the time for us to build a relationship with EU and break the Atlantic relationship? That's what they're talking, isn't it? What's the reality? Is the transatlantic relationship being broken? Will EU swing towards China the way this has come out? Now, this visit by Meloni from Italy is very, very important. I think she's the, arrowhead of EU to bridge the gap with the USA. She's gone there. She has a very good equation with Trump. And the way she's handled the whole thing is fantastic. So I think you should listen to it from her own words. You see. Right?
The retaliatory tariffs that the European Commission passed and then suspended, are they still on the table if you cannot make a deal with President Trump?
I'm sure we can make a deal, and I'm here to help on that. I cannot deal in the name of the European Union. My goal would be invite President Trump to pay an official visit to Italy and understand if there's a possibility when he comes to organize also such a meeting with Europe. For I think the best way is that we simply speak frankly about the needs that every one of us has and find ourselves in the middle. For that's useful for all. I really, somebody calls me such a Western nationalism. I don't know if it is the right word, but I'm sure that together we are stronger. And I have to find a way. I'm here to find the best way to make us both stronger on the two shores of the Atlantic.
So she's there to find the best way to make both stronger on both sides of the Atlantic. Very clear. And she's not breaking ranks with EU. She's also clear that, without Italy, France, Germany, right, EU will collapse. Or Switzerland, these main, the core of EU. EU will collapse. If one breaks ranks, it will collapse. She's not prepared to do that. On the other hand, she says, look, I've had a word with Trump. We should be both together. You come to Europe, sit with us, discuss, put out your point of view, we'll put out our point of view, let's get together. And she says, make West greater again. And she says, West is a concept. It's not a physical entity. So I think China has to do a rethink. Okay. What's more important? Pete Hegseth goes, their defense secretary is talking in France. See? He's talking in France. So it's a matter of time that they'll get around to Germany. And already Marco Rubio has given a warning to Russia and Ukraine. If you don't want to get to peace, we'll get off it. If he gets out of it, there's nothing. There's no problem between EU and USA. They'll say, you keep fighting. We'll do everything else. And in any case, EU is remilitarizing. So where's the problem? And why will they allow China to come in? Because if China comes and floods the goods there, EU is sunk, finished. So I think China will find it very difficult to enter EU. As days go by, there will be a lot of hee-haw, hey-ho, all that. But US and EU will get together. And this lady is making it happen. Okay. Now, everyone says, oh, no one is coming to USA, yay, whoa, all that. But just think, in the past 1 week, 10 days, all countries are going to USA. No one is going to China. China is going to someone else. China chap is coming to us, and their ambassador has held a meeting or a press conference here and said, no, come, we want to help you. We don't have barriers. Please allow us to set up investment here and all that nonsense. So they got a problem. But everyone is saying, I want to deal with USA. Isn't it something? Then you say USA is isolated. Then USA will collapse. Well, logic nahi hai. One side, the 150 countries going that side. No one is going to China. No one has gone to China, isn't it? Right? And then the reverse is true. Everyone in China is scrambling to offload his produce into USA or anywhere else. Whoever buys is okay for them, the way they are at this point of time. Okay. Have you seen one video where an American has come and said, I'm in trouble? Have you seen? No. Or have you said, look, I want these tariffs lifted? No. Except the media. No one else in America has spoken. So there is something, what Trump is doing. I mean, I'm not citing Trump. I'm giving you my observation. Okay. And then there are these wild theories coming out of China now. Oh, China is going to make this great alliance against USA to try and isolate USA, break it and establish a Sino-centric world order, all that. Some 7,000 page Word document has been leaked. All these China things have started coming out. If needed, we'll go for war, X, Y, Z. And in all this, they're saying, look, USA is trying to snare the Chinese Communist Party and Xi Jinping into crimes against humanity in COVID. Sure enough, Trump has fed that fear in. Okay. And of course, the next thing is there's a huge blitz in China, media blitz, out externally and internally, portraying strength. If you go into any of their media, you know, um, portals, you will see, oh, we are strong. Everything is happening. South China Morning Post is like a propaganda machine today. I don't get anything sensible out of it. Everything is made in China. Every discovery is in China only. Only China is strong. Everyone else is weak. And 90% of their news is against USA. Baki to hai hi nahi. So that media blitz is conveying two things to our, oh, we are strong. And internally they're telling everyone we are strong. Otherwise, that collapse happens. End of story. Okay.
We've got a process in place.
Yeah.
We're working on.
Look at this. Sorry. Let me start this again. And this is Scott Bessent, who's just saying that so many people are working for us. Scott Bessent is the Treasury
We've
Secretary.
got a process in place. We're working on the big 15 economies first. We had a fantastic meeting with Japan yesterday. I believe they've been called with the EU already. And then we have South Korea coming in next week. And I believe India is also talking, that's moving very quickly.
So, top 15 economies are already talking with USA. What I just told you. That includes South Korea, Japan. He says India is moving very quickly. EU, many of the EU people are coming. So, and you don't see this thing that they're shaky. They're very clear in what they're doing. I mean, that's what one has to understand.
We've got a
Okay, right. And then Trump is taking personal interest in talks with Japan. He says, I'm in important countries, I'll deal directly. Whereas all media thing from China, Xi Jinping is not speaking. None of their leaders are speaking. No one from the Politburo is speaking. It's only news, media. And of course, on TikTok, whole lot of chaps are selling everything. From undies to top hats. That's a different story. Okay. What is one fundamental thing? And the fundamental thing is USA is set to get this 10% baseline tariff. That's clear. Okay. Like someone was saying, for all you know, Trump's idea is to get everyone to get this 10% baseline tariff. So he put 25% on everyone. Then he said, okay, I'll get it to 10%. Everyone said, okay. So everyone has okayed this 10% baseline tariff except except China. So now China is the Lone Ranger fighting. Everyone else will now make deals with USA. Whether industry moves into USA or not is all kahani. But 10% tariff to le liya na usne. He's got gold card. So he's getting money in. So he says, if you want American market, do everything. All this. Okay, so he's on the ball. I mean, let's be very clear. Okay.
Major victory against China. I read this story. I could
This is
hardly
new.
believe my eyes. It sounds like something I'm making up, but listen to this. Attorney General Andrew Bailey won a lawsuit.
So what's happening now? There's a new story which is starting. All the farmlands which China bought in USA are being seized one by one. Missouri has done it and they've done it legally. So everyone says, oh, China will sell the treasury. China will tell the treasury. What will USA do? They'll take off all these farmlands. All outside assets of China will go. Okay, they'll delist people from the New York Stock Exchange. That's a nuclear option with USA. Then what happens to China? Who owns these farmlands? It is all these Communist Party chaps. Now, Communist Party, as per many of these, Lee's Rail Talk or China Observer and all that, decoding China, all these chaps say, look, the CCP has given an edict that they should first declare how much assets they have in China. And when China declares the war and ups the trade war, they have to sell everything there. If they sell everything there, there'll be a distress sale money will go down. No one will not get their money back which they will put. And why will they tell? After all, of course, they said if you don't tell, you'll be charged with treason and all that. But that's a long shot if it is true, if this leak is true. So, but the fact is that land in Missouri has been taken back from China. And this is a court case going on for long. There's a whole lot of land which China brought in USA, which now is vulnerable. So vulnerabilities of China are now opening up. We don't understand, but I think in this case, USA has done its homework.
Major
Okay. Right. Then this is a new story. He says, okay, Chinese ships coming to USA, pay 1.5, 2 million, whatever they put the whole thing. Another 6 months, this is going to start. So this is going to force America to build ships. He's forcing America to build ships. Build and own ships. So you have your own shipping. It's not going to be easy. Now, he's doing it. He says, Acha, theek hai, tum apna rare earth karo. I will do what I have to do. What else besides rare earth can China do? That's a question, $1 million question. You'll stop the rare earths. They'll do something. If India can do 30 things, which I other day said, go hybrid, all that, so can USA. I'm sure they'll ramp up. They can better ramp up hybrid product. What's this? Heavy RE production and all that. Okay, for some time they will be in a problem, but they'll get out of it. And you know why they'll get out of it? They're catching space. We'll come to that. This is it. This is today. देखो कैंची है कैंची. Okay, is China's space collaboration with Latin America under threat as US asserts power? Oh yes, man, it's under threat. There's no doubt. Let's not have any doubt about it. He is absolutely, Monroe Doctrine he is implementing. Whatever you like or not, he is implementing. Why? See, already there's a 80 billion observatory talk between Chile and China. That's on the verge of being cancelled. Now, China has set up 11 ground stations in Latin America for, Beidou and space, all that. Beidou is fine, space and all is fine, space tracking and all is fine. But the fact is there are 11 stations. And those 11 stations are good, the way I look at it, for missiles, for missile guidance. And if those stations are not there and satellites are up in the air, it doesn't serve anyone's purpose. So I'm very sure that these are under threat by USA. And that's what this article also says. Okay, right. Now, China offers a lot of space services to all these countries. No, that's all come under threat. Now, sometime back I spoke, there's a deep space station in Argentina. And that deep space station was used for that balloon last year. That balloon went 2 years back. That balloon went across America and that balloon was shot down finally. It was launched from Hainan Island and all that. Okay. So now Argentina is a right-wing government, and the contract with the earlier left-wing Argentina government of I don't remember who that fellow was. That look, whatever China does in that, no one else has access to it. It was like a black box for Argentinians. Now Trump has flipped that. He's flipping it. He's on the verge of flipping it. So this is a new domain. COVID has opened up. This has opened up. EU, there's something happening with this thing. Panama Canal, you see what's happening already. Okay. We have not spoken. I have not spoken about the readjustments militarily which have done in the Pacific. That's also done. He's also aiming at Greenland. And China is worried because Greenland routes, all that is a problem. Some fake things have come out as if to say, no, Greenland may, from some Greenland prime minister or someone who said, no, you come in. And he's told, I think, said China can come and invest in Greenland. All Chinese activities from Greenland have already been kicked out. Not now, earlier itself. So I don't see this story unwinding. So COVID and space are the new dimensions opened up. Trade routes already. Houthis hammered. Iran, I spoke yesterday, on the verge. Every day someone or the other says, today there's a news that Israel says I'll do limited strike on Iran to give it, a warning. So all these are happening. And China has not been able to do anything about it. And interestingly, if you see, Russia is marginalized. Why? Without military, Russia is marginalized. Russia is a great military power. Economically, it's got nothing. It's not able to do anything. It's just sitting in one corner and fighting itself with insignificance with Ukraine. And Russia will get significance only when India comes into play. And India is talking to US. See what's happening, right? You have to understand that. Okay. So oil refiners and sellers from Iran, they're also under sanctions. This is a multiple attack which is going on. It's not one. It is not one at all. Now, what's happened in China? This is very interesting. Have a look at it. I'll make it bigger. Okay. All container bookings have dropped 60%. So international trade is down. Everyone says China dominates shipping trade. That's 60% down. It's not only goods. What about transportation? So the ships are down. The ships have not been allowed to enter US ports without paying a heavy fine. Everyone says no, the US customer will pay for it ultimately. But things have to come up to the US customer. It's not coming. And the US customer at this point of time is not bothered. He's not shown up. I mean, we don't know what will happen tomorrow. But so far, nothing. TikTok sales have gone down. Okay. Now, BYD, all these people who wanted to go and set up factories everywhere, China says, no, don't set up. Don't delay go global plans. India has already said no. So, a lot of things are happening which, we are this thing. And with all this comes this graph, this one graph which came today. Today or yesterday, maybe I saw it today. China's unemployment rate is this. This is the break, this is the break in between. This is the time when they didn't publish it. It was here. They did some jiggery pooggery and started saying, no, it's only here 15%. It's now not 20%. It's here. But if you actually compound it the way it was going earlier, it should be here. So that means there's a heavy unemployment going on in China and youth. Okay, there's a problem. I mean, let's face facts. China is in a lot of problems. And this is the thing. 1 million people have applied for 8,000 jobs in a firm in China. Why? Because it was a state nuclear some firm. The hard fact is China is internally weak. Okay. Now, it's come to light that China has helped Houthis. Some Chinese companies have helped Houthis. If this is true, and this has come out in, Financial Times, this article, then you know what will happen next. Nothing might happen immediately. But the USA will start getting after them. At the end of the day, one has to realize why China has got a lot of things. This whole war is not being played by China's playbook. It is being played by US playbook. China will be strong. It's not going to collapse. It's going to take a lot of beating, right? It might ultimately seem to be winning in the end. But in the long term, I look at it beyond this trade war, beyond this whole story. Where is China going to head? And maybe after a month, I'll get my bearing straight and get an indication and to say where is China heading. Okay. And then in the meanwhile, lot of articles came out, lot of memes came out, lot of TikToks and all came out about obese Americans and all that. Look at this. The 60% of Chinese are going to be obese. If you believe a Chinese, you must be a fool. Okay. So I just put that out in the end. So what do you see in the end? Right? I don't see China getting away clean, winning nothing, zero. I don't think so. Will USA win? That's the doubt. I mean, I have my own doubt. And what is the measure of USA's victory? What is the measure of Donald Trump's victory? That is something one has to see. Okay, that is one has to see, and one has to assess where he is going to do what he is going to do. So far, his steps might have seemed Trumpy, but they are far from that. I think they're very well measured steps. There's a larger plan. It is only now that everyone has started understanding that. Okay, let's go to the rant of a hybrid dictator. Last week, Asim Munir was speaking to a lot of overseas citizens of Pakistan. And he gave a talk. Right? He talked. We don't know exactly what he spoke. He must have spoken for a long time. Interestingly, this was a talk in which Shahbaz Sharif, the Prime Minister, was also sitting. If you see the full video, you'll see him sitting. Why did he talk like this? He only spoke, only what he spoke came out. What the Prime Minister spoke has not come out only. What's going on there? Why did he speak what he spoke? A lot of analysis I saw on this thing on many issues, but I have my own take on it. And my own take on it, this is the beginning of an unofficial dictatorship or the hybrid dictatorship of Asim Munir over Pakistan. He's not got the capability or the guts to become an outright dictator. So now in the past, ever since he's taken over, he's put his political opponents into jail. Imran Khan, though he's the most popular, I hope Imran Khan takes over Pakistan, he'll destroy it completely. That's my wish as an Indian. But unfortunately, Asim Munir has put him in jail, the most popular guy. And every day he's in jail, he becomes more popular. And the establishment and this dictatorship becomes more unpopular. First. Second, what he has done, he's rigged the elections completely and he's got a government in place which sings to his tune. You just see, a chief of army staff comes, the prime minister has to sit and listen to what this fellow talks. And he doesn't talk there. The prime minister doesn't talk there. Only one man talk. Third, he's changed the constitution and the constitution now is playing as per what he wants. And then the judges will be appointed the way he wants. So he's got the legislature, he's got the judiciary, okay, he's got the political executive thing, everything he's tightened. He's a dictator, but he doesn't want to be a dictator, called a dictator. But he has to be recognized as one. This is the gray zone he's playing. And why my way of looking at it, this is a coming out party. This is a coming out party of Asim Munir to tell the whole world that I'm in chair. And of course, a few things have come out that is completely anti-India, which everyone knew. That fellow is radicalized because he's spoken of radicalization. Okay, he's spoken in the radicals language, right? And so many things. Okay, yeah. And there also, he's spoken at a time when Pakistan has lost its, link. I wouldn't say links. It's standing with China. It's now seeking USA. Its whole, economy is in dumps, and it is near a failed state, a failed dictator of a failed state. What does he have to? What can he do? He can only speak this way. Okay. Now, what we'll do? He's spoken of a lot of things. I've seen the entire clip, and incidentally, this is also a doctored clip. This is also a doctored clip which has been put out probably by ISI for good effect. Right. So let us go through this thing one by one, and we'll talk of it. I'll show you those parts of the story one by one. Okay. The first thing we'll see is his story of two nation theory. What he spoke of two nation theory, and then we'll talk of it.
पाकिस्तान की कहानी अपने बच्चों को जो है आपने जरूर सुनानी है ताकि वो पाकिस्तान की कहानी ना भूलें. Well, our forefathers they thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life. Our religion is different, our customs are different, our traditions are different, our thoughts are different, our ambitions are different. That was the foundation of the two nation theory that was laid there. That we are two nations, we are not one nation. So because of that, our forefathers, they struggled, mounted that incessant struggle to create this country. Our forefathers, they have sacrificed immensely, and we have sacrificed a lot for the creation of this country. And we know how to defend it.
So everyone is clapping. We know how to defend it. We are different from Hindus. We are a two nation theory, forefathers, this, that. We can't be like Hindus, all that. But what is the reality? First and foremost, can he defend Pakistan? The Pakistan which his forefathers created on the basis of the two nation theory was never could be defended. It never could be defended. It became now it's a three nation theory, really speaking. Where another nation has come out. The fundamental failure of this three nations theory is that Islam has not been able to keep Pakistan together. Why? Because of ethnicities. It is ethnicities which broke Pakistan, East Pakistan, to create just Pakistan way it is. And tomorrow, if it is breaking, it is because of ethnicities. Ethnicities of Balochistan, Sindh, and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and Punjabis. So the ethnicity factor is more important than his two nation theory of Hindus and Muslims. If someone says, look, a lot of people in India, oh, it shouldn't have happened, that theory is wrong, all that. I couldn't care a damn. Whether it is a two nation theory or four nation theory or Hindus and Muslims are different nations, I couldn't care a damn. All these chaps went out. All these Muslims who felt they were a different nation went out. And they're unhappy or happy there, let them be. Just think, if we had all these fellows in our midst today, right? 250 million Pakistanis and 130, 140 million Bangladeshis, all Muslims, 400 million Muslim more than what we have. What would be the texture of India? Look, I'm not a guy who propounds Hindutva or Hindu theory and all that. These fools who came up with this two nation theory of Hindus versus this thing, they've actually made a Hindu India. As days go by, this will become more Hinduized. The opposite is coming true. I wish it doesn't come true. I do wish we remain a secular nation. But that's the way we are progressing. Every time that fellow talks of two nation theory, there will be a rebound out here. But in any case, that's not the point. I think that two nation theory is a complete failure. And for this guy to talk of all that is just to raise issues. Okay, what's the next story? Then he spoke of superior ideology. You know that book, Men Are from Mars and Women Are from Venus? So I'll put it, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, and Pakistanis are from outer space. ये तो बाहर से आए हैं. They come from, from cosmic origin and come to Pakistan. Right. So what did he say about the superior ideology? Let's listen to that first.
You're not only the investors of Pakistan, you're of course the warriors, the soldiers of Pakistan. You are the light of Pakistan, which shines onto many countries of the globe. And the way that you are contributing for your country in the form of the remittances, investments through multiple channels, that show that how much of love that you have for your country. हमारे beloved जो overseas हैं, because आप एक different तहजीब में रहते हैं. Don't you ever forget that you belong to a superior ideology, a superior culture. जो इकबाल ने भी कहा था ना, अपनी मिल्लत पर कियास अक़वाम मगरिब से न कर, खास है तरकीब में कौम रसूल हाशमी.
So this fellow says he's from a superior race, superior ideology. Everything is superior in Pakistan. Superior to whom? Okay, let's talk of ideology. The fount of ideology, the Wahhabi Muslim culture or whatever that Wahhabism they talk of. I am not a great guy who knows all this. Comes from Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia itself is saying, yeah, forget it. We don't want all that radicalism, Wahhabism and all. Let's modernize. Let's go into something different. And this fellow says superior culture, superior thing. That's why I said, no, they come from outer space. Yahan nahi paida hue ye sab. Okay. This is the ideology of a failed state. When a state is failing, they talk of superiority. This is similar to what Adolf Hitler said, no? Superiority of the Aryan race. This chap also is talking the same thing. Do Kodi ke Pakistani ye, and he's speaking to whom? All the non-resident Pakistanis who are overseas residents of Pakistan. You are the shining light. You are my warriors and all that. What's the reality? Reality, if you go abroad, every Pakistani behaves like an Indian. If there's an Indian, he'll go and stand behind him and say, I'm also Indian. He doesn't want to be recognized as a Pakistani. And long back, second time I went long back, I'm forgetting now. When I went to USA and I said, yeah, how do you feel about Pakistanis? Oh, we feel Pakistanis are shady guys. They're drug peddlers and carpet peddlers. Oh, they do all shady tricks. That's Pakistan for you outside. Okay. And today Pakistan is surviving. Its economy is afloat only because of overseas remittances. If that overseas remittance fails tomorrow by any stretch of imagination, Pakistan is gone. Okay. So that is what this whole story is of superior ideology. He's spoken hell of a lot. This is more of a dictator speech. Okay. Than a normal army officer speech. An army chief doesn't speak like this. It's a dictator or ruler who can speak like this. Can you think of an army chief in India or anywhere in the world speaking like this? Not even in China. Okay. What's the next issue? He spoke of Riyasat-e-Pakistan. Oh भैया, Riyasat-e-Pakistan. ये सुन तो लो आप लोग.
आज तक इंसानियत की तारीख में सिर्फ 2 रियासतें हैं जो कलमे की बुनियाद पर बनी हैं. पहली जो थी उसका नाम है रियासत तैयबा, क्योंकि तैयबा जो है वो नबी करीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने उसको नाम दिया था. और जबकि कुरान में उसका नाम है यसरब, या अहले यसरबा ला मुकाम लकुम फरजिउ, ये कुरान में नाम है उसका, जो आज जिसको मदीना अल मुनव्वरा कहा जाता है. और दूसरी रियासत जो है वो उसके 1300 साल के बाद अल्लाह ताला ने ये आपकी बनाई है कलमे की बुनियाद के ऊपर.
So after 1300, after Riyasat-e-Tayyiba, after 1302 years, Allah Thala has made this state. Yaar. He says so. Whatever. That's what he says. And what are the catalysts for this change to come? That Riyasat to come from Riyasat-e-Taiba to Riyasat-e-Pakistan. In between was Lashkar-e-Taiba. This is the rant of a failed state. This is a state which has been a state sponsor of terror. So this is what this fellow has spoken. Okay. What next? Then he spoken of a hard state. देखो hard state के बारे में क्या बोलता है ये.
Pakistan needs to be a hard state, a country whose all institutions, whose all departments, organizations, divisions, allied departments, they are working as per the law, they are fully operational, and everything is being done as per the constitution, is a hard state. ये सोशल मीडिया का मैं कह रहा था.
So everything is being done as per the constitution and it's a hard state. क्या नौटंकी है? What is hard about Pakistan? The constitution, which has been penned by him now or amended by him the way he wants. Does anything go by law? The law is what he has put. When you read, say, a guy like Jahangir Qazi, Ashraf Qazi, who was one of the renowned ambassadors, who writes regularly in Dawn, and I was reading him today. He says Pakistan today is marked by its weak governance, lack of law and order, societal breakdown, lack of discipline, and rigging, election rigging, and things like that. This is the hard state. In such a state, how can anything go right? Today, there's a Ahmadi who's been lynched by Tehreek-e-Labbaik in Pakistan. That's your hard state? That's your rule of law? When a mob can go and lynch a person? What nonsense are you talking? And this hard state is struggling to keep this whole state together. Okay, this is the hard state story. Let's see what next. Then he's spoken of terrorism and Baluchistan. Let's see what
little bit of the terrorism which is taking place in the country, and the people say, and the people they are mostly propagating. Whatever little bit of the terrorism which is taking place in the country, and the people say, and the people they are mostly propagating.
So he says terrorism, whatever little bit in that country. There's a lot of terrorism in this country, where TTP people go into a school and finish 125 children off, and that's little bit. That's a sense of little bit. Okay. No. Sorry. Yeah.
Bit of the terrorism which is taking place in the country, and the people say, and the people they are mostly propagating, that with this kind of security situation, there won't be any investment coming to Pakistan. Well, to them, they must hear me very clearly now. You think terrorists, they can take away the destiny of the country from us? If this great Pakistani nation and the Pakistani armed forces, if 1.3 million Indian army with all their wherewithal, if they cannot intimidate us and they cannot coerce us, these terrorists can subdue the armed forces of Pakistan. और बलूचिस्तान जो है, जो कि पाकिस्तान की डेस्टिनी है, ठीक है, जो कि पाकिस्तान के माथे का झूमर है, तुम 1500 बंदे कहोगे कि जी हम इसको ले जाएंगे, तुम्हारी अगली 10 नस्लें भी नहीं लेके जा सकती. Inshallah, you will see that we will beat the hell of these terrorists very soon. Balochistan, you think this 1,500 people belonging to BLA and BLF and BRA, etc., can take away Balochistan from us? We have those brave fathers that who proudly shoulder the funeral of their sons and take them to the graves.
Hey, so what? See, he says we have proud fathers who take the funeral to their graves of their sons to their graves. That's all they are doing. They're not fighting. What this fellow has not understood is, or not what he has not said, is it's not 1,500 terrorists of BRA, BLA whom they're fighting with. They're fighting with the millions of Balochistan people. They're fighting with half their country in size. 44% of Pakistan is Balochistan. A complete Pakistan army can deploy itself. Nothing will happen. They're fighting with their own women. And then he says Balochistan. He's addressed Balochistan as if it's a separate entity. And he says Balochistan is my destiny. Right? Yes, it is. The way things are going, it is his destiny. Balochistan will lead Pakistan to its destiny of not being Pakistan, of being broken. It's a matter of time. Right. What else is he spoken of? He's now spoken of Kashmir. Let's see what he's spoken of Kashmir.
Our stance, government stance on Kashmir is absolutely clear. It was our jugular vein. It is our jugular vein. We will not forget it. And we will not leave our...
So Pakistan's stance on Kashmir is very clear. It was our jugular vein and it will remain our jugular vein. Unfortunately, the jugular vein has been cut. Article 370 ke baad, there's no doubt left in anyone's mind in Kashmir that they will not be, they are part of India and they will be not be part of Pakistan forever. No one is interested. So what is he doing? Who is he to talk of our territory? And then he says we have fought 3 wars with Pakistan, or rather with India, and India doesn't intimidate us. Why all 3 who lost? Which fool's world is this man living in? Right? He's lost all his wars. Kashmir is completely out of his control, or rather out of his reach, not control. And it is that. So what do you make out of this whole story? I put out point by point whatever points he has raised, what I felt about it. But overall, I went back to the thing. This is a dictator. India should be very clear that we are dealing with a dictator. That's the first thing. The second thing is, this is a dictator who has not given one plan. In this entire, the important parts of his speech I have given. He has not given one plan, one iota of a plan out how he will revive Pakistan. He says Pakistan will rise. Oh yeah, how will it rise out on its own? There's no football pump. It says, is it a football that you pump air into it, it'll rise? Economically, it's finished. Right? So he's not given one idea of how to revive Pakistan. All his ideas are of Pakistan being a hard state, how he'll deal with terror and with Balochistan by beating the hell out of Balochistan. He'll beat them. So his intent is to submit Balochistan by force. No political solution, no societal solution, no winning hearts and minds of people, and he'll just beat people. So that leads to breakup of Pakistan. That will only lead to breakup of Pakistan. So he wants to keep Balochistan by force. So, and he wants to threaten India. And he thinks he is supposed to be a Haji and who knows Quran well and all that. He is invoking all these things with some mad ideas of being a superior ideology, as if he's a Martian coming from Neptune. So we are going to have a very difficult time with this fellow in terms of being able to make any headway towards any kind of peace. Let's be very clear about it. So we shouldn't even dream about it. On the other hand, we should give them a kick. The way I look at it, just tell them, yeah, you Pakistan, do what you want. You want to be a dictator, be a dictator. You want to be a hybrid dictator, be a hybrid dictator. And what's more, doesn't have the guts to become a overall dictator. He doesn't have the guts to say, I'm the dictator. Danda marunga. He still wants the kavach of law, legality, constitution, and all that, which he spoke. Okay. And like someone says, he's like Aurangzeb or all those chaps who spoke of superior culture, superior ideologies. He's got nothing. He's a beggar, the way I look at it. Pakistan is on that level. Can they come out of it? They'll never come out of it. So we should be ready to deal with a Pakistan which is going to be constantly under decay. That's the major thing which I thought I'll tell about the rant of this hybrid dictator. We should know how to deal with it. I'm sure, really speaking, we don't need any great policy. Okay. Now I'm going to talk of monetizing surplus defense lands. Why am I talking about this? Because some articles keep coming out and say, look, army has a lot of cantonments, a lot of land in the big cities. They should be thrown out and they should be used for redevelopment and all that. And they keep coming periodically. But I saw this article the other day, which initially I kept quiet, but something else happened and came out. It came out in Swarajya. Cans can do it, monetizing surplus lands to make space in Indian cities. This is the thing. Then he says, government should throw Fauj out or move Fauj out. He said in Ahmedabad, Bombay, Bangalore, all big Pune, all big cities, Chennai, Fauj has so much land, and that land can be used to make huge, developmental activities and all that. Normal. Okay, fine. And he said political will should be there, and he's gone on a lot of things which I don't want to go, but let me explain. The content is the same. Okay. This is what he says. He says, this article, I don't know who the chap who written it also. He says, India sits on 8 lakh crore worth of idle defense land in cities. Unlocking it could fund infrastructure, solve housing shortages, and transform urban growth. Unlocking 16,490 acres of surplus defense land in cities like Chennai, Pune, Bangalore, and Lucknow could provide space for 29 lakh affordable housing units, addressing nearly 15% of India's urban housing deficit. First and foremost, who told him this figure of 16,490 surplus acres? Where did he get it from? What is the authenticity of this? Okay. Does he know what he's talking of? From my way of looking at it, he's only napped what are the cantonments are there, net of that area, throw Fauj out, build. What are the repercussions of that? Does he understand? Just writing. Okay. This is not the first time. This is 8 years back. Okay, have a look at it. See this? Okay. This came out long back in Mint. What is he said? He says how new military bases could seed new cities and create jobs. Okay. This came out in 2019. Okay, and 5-6 years back. Before that also, a lot of things like this keep coming. At that time, I went into details. You see, I had some experience of all this because I was the GOC of Mumbai area. Mumbai, Goa, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Goa, and all that. All these three states were under me. And this other business, I could out when I looked every day out of my office, I saw 30 floors of others daily. All the other files were next to me, and I know the stories. I also know the stories of land grabs. I know the real story. I'll never tell it. I also know the real story of these people who are talking. So I'll just explain to you. Long back, about 5-6 years back, when that first article came in Mint. So there's one chap in a TV channel. He said there's a Supreme Court lawyer. Okay, he's from one party, right? He says Delhi can should be shifted out to cater for expanding needs of civilians. Throw them out. Okay. Now in this article, which has come recently, okay, Delhi Cant occupies 43 square kilometers. This land could transform into a world-class urban hub with modern housing, commercial zones, complexes, all that. Same, both are saying the same thing. I mean, just think. One is from one party, the other is from the other party. They are both nationalists, both ruled our country. Both want this. नियत तो एक ही है दोनों का नियत एक ही है, ठीक है. Both are supporting a builder lobby. This is a builder lobby. That's why I wanted to talk. Okay, some time back, I think around around 2000 or 99 2000, I remember in Delhi they wanted to occupy this ridge, the Delhi Ridge. Okay, all Delhiites came up on the streets. They said you can't do that. They wanted to clear the Delhi Ridge. They said no, and then government of that day passed a law where the Delhi Ridge you can't construct anything. There's only few buildings in the Delhi Ridge. That's all, fenced off today. The Delhi Cant is part of the Delhi Ridge. At that point also, someone I remember saying, the Delhi Cant should remain as it is. Because these are the lungs of Delhi. You make it into a transport corridor and build multi-storied buildings, all that. End of story. Thank you. Okay, Delhi will get choked. As it is in Delhi, there is so much pollution. Then you can't live if that green belt is taken off. And this is part of that green belt. Okay. Let me also give you a personal view of mine. I remember once in Bombay, some people came to me and said, look, we want to build around these houses, and there are laws. There are laws in Bombay, or for that matter, all over India, around a cantonment or around a military station. You can't have more than 4 stories. You can't have, all that. They first wanted me to allow, because I was the authority, to allow them to build. I said, no one will build over what is as per the law. Okay. So one day someone said, sir, why don't you go and have a look as to what these chaps want? So I said, I went to a military station. It was a very, I went to that station, saw around, I was going around, and I was standing in the gate of the station. An old man walked up to me. He said, sir, you are the senior most military officer. I said, yes, I am the senior most military officer. He says, you come here to check, because all this had come out in the news. That army will carry out a survey, the commander will go and see, and and then decision will be taken, and a lot of people are saying you will be allowed to construct all that. So I said, yeah, I am. He said, sir, I'm an old man. He was about 80, 85 maybe. He said, I want to put across 2, 3 things to you. I said, tell me what. I said, sir, please do tell me. He said, look at this road. He showed me, look at the road, the narrow road, the buses plying, double decker, hardly could move. And he said, sir, if you allow buildings to come up more than 4 stories in this area, say 10 stories, 20 stories, just think what will happen here. In monsoons, there'll be so much flooding, all these people will be flooded out. All these people, you don't have infrastructure here. All these builders will build 10, 20 stories, and they will be no place even for our drainage and sewerage. We will be living in filth out here. So the way he described it, I closed my eyes and said, yeah, this old man is saying something very sensible. How can you keep building here? And that day I went back and I gave it in writing that no permission shall be granted to break existing laws, building laws, go as per building laws. Okay. And the building lobby was not this thing. They came back to me, of course, through the government. We want permission to do restructuring of our building. So restructuring of your building is allowed within a particular area to a particular height. But the laws of the restructuring were that you cannot build more than that height of that original building. You have to build within that original building. Whatever you want to do, reconstruction, redoing everything, no problems. But if your building was 4 stories, you can't go the 5th story. You can't put it. Right? If it was 6 stories, because it was there earlier, someone put that before this law came, 6 stories. You can't go over 6 stories. But under 6 stories, you can do whatever rebuilding you want. Permitted. Okay. So all proposals which came to me, not a single proposal said I'll live within that envelope of 4 stories or 6 stories. Everyone wanted to build 20 stories. This is our country. It doesn't matter whether a person is from party A or party B or one or the other. The niyat is very clear. Okay. Now you see, if you go back in time about cantonments in our country, cantonments were made outside habitation, far away from civilian life. Okay. And the Britishers made those cantonments, they made it well, granted to them, spaced out, they wanted it their way, and they existed. But slowly the cities started expanding, and the cities expanded and have come in contact with cantonments. In many places, the cantonments and the cities are intermingling. There are problems. I have no doubt about it. So today, you want to expand the cities, you want to throw the cantonments out. That's what this man is saying. That's the story. But let me tell you another story. This was in 2013 or 12. 13, I think, 2013. I was sitting in RBI. Okay. The Queen of Netherlands was to come. And I was sitting, it was an exclusive room, the top bankers, the top industrialists, name it. Those chaps were there, and yours truly was also there. Uniform pen ke, topi pen ke baitha tha. Because by protocol, I had to be called. So next to me was one guy who was one of the top CEOs of one of the top bank housing finance people. So he said, General, you in Colaba, why don't Ami move out from Colaba and give that land for redevelopment to the government, So much. It's such a good land, and yeah, same thing. The same story with this fellow also comes out with. Oh, and whatever sale money you'll get out of that land sale, you will get defense budget for 1 year complete, and you do it for 10 years, 10 cities like this, and your 10 years defense budget you will get. I said, yeah, fine. At the moment he started speaking all this to me, all those chaps who were around me, all great bankers and financiers of this country, were eagerly listening to what I was talking. I said, yeah, damn good idea, yeah. First class idea. He said, where do you want me to go? He said, no, anywhere. I said, Dehu Road. Huh, Dehu Road, very good place. Dehu Road is very good. I said, Acha, Dehu Road is very good. But then, I have a problem in Dehu Road. He said, what? I have a huge ammunition dump out there. Dehu Road, as per you say then it's useless. But there are people who want me to get out of Dehu Road. ये देहू रोड में क्या है? बट देहू रोड में भी नहीं है, गेट आउट. तो ठीक है, एक जमाने में देहू रोड जंगल था, एक जमाने कोलाबा भी जंगल था. इट वाज विरान आइलैंड. सो यू वांट मी टू गेट आउट ऑफ कोलाबा, गो टू देहू रोड. देहू रोड पीपल वांट मी टू गेट आउट ऑफ देयर. वेयर डू आई गो? You go anywhere. I said, Acha, I go anywhere. Good, I'll go anywhere. And what happens if there are floods in Bombay? What happens if there are riots in Bombay? What happens if there's an air attack in Bombay? What happens tomorrow if something else happens, like what happened with that fellows who came and attacked Taj? What happens to the Western Naval Command, which is there? Bombay is one of your biggest ports. If that thing goes off from there, what happens? Oh, you're supposed to go to Karwar. Okay, I'll go to Karwar. What, you leave complete Bombay undefended? 3 months before the monsoon, everyone comes to me, sir, GOC साहब जरा आइए, मेरे को बताइए कि यहाँ का मानसून का और फ्लड कंट्रोल कैसे करना है. कौन करेगा? I'll come from Dehu Road or beyond. My columns have to start from Dehu Road to save Bombay. By the time they come, they would have got caught somewhere in between. They'll never reach Bombay. People in Bombay will die. Yeah, very funny. Acha, then you think government will sell this money off, and that money will be given to for funding the defense somewhere else and all that. Let me tell you a nice story. Santa Cruz Airport was made on defense land, part of Santa Cruz Airport. When was Santa Cruz Airport made? I don't know. Somewhere on Independence. Some 40-50 acres were taken from defense land. Till now, that defense land has not been given by government of Maharashtra, unless it has been given in the past 5-6 years. Nothing is given. So you'll take this land and tell the forge, go where you want. Is it easy to acquire all that land? And what about the infrastructure the armed forces have built in these places? Does this chap even know what he's talking? What about training? What about mobilization? What about operational orientation of that area? Infrastructure gets built one by one, layer by layer. It's been built over 80, 90, 100 years in these places. No government will have the money to even shift one cant out. Let me tell you this. Forget political will. It means that equivalent land has to be identified somewhere else. All the infrastructure built, and only then people can move there. If you don't do that, and your troops are not, comfortable, will they be able to fight tomorrow? Will they be able to train tomorrow? Right? And we are looking at a time when India is supposed to be expanding regionally, and our military capacity has to go up. So you're getting new units. Everyone says, यार मेरे को ना बड़ा मिसाइल चाहिए. यार मिसाइल चाहिए तो कहीं तो रखोगे. उसी के लिए लैंड नहीं है. You don't have land for that. You have to start acquiring. Today, army is acquiring land wherever. or through the government. The government of India is acquiring land for all these units. You don't have. People say, okay, Chennai, there's no Fauj here. Are you sure? All that land can be used. But what happened during IPKF, Sri Lanka operations and out of area contingencies, and you have to go and capture something somewhere? Everyone has to go through Chennai, that a whole area will be used. Have you seen when, units mobilize, formations mobilize? All open areas of a particular kind get filled when the mobilization takes place. Till mobilization is over. Tomorrow you want to expand OTA in Chennai. Whatever I've been to Chennai OTA, there's no space within OTA Chennai to expand. You have to go to other areas. Who will give that land? If the army has land, everyone does. And aren't land banks a system today? I mean, we should be very happy that in Army, Navy, and the Air Force have some land bank today through which you can expand. Right? And it's not as if Army is not, prepared to move and all. You go to Delhi, there's a new Army headquarters being made. There's a new Naval headquarters being made, which is out of that, area, which is part of the plan of, new plan of Delhi. Then, in fact, the naval headquarters is made on existing defense land only. We given up the old thing, given back to the government. So the government will do what it wants with it. But it's a planned process. Even that has taken 5 years. If you start the procedure today of a shift, it will take 5 to 10 years. Now you think, if for the next 5 to 10 years in all these cities you start this plan, you will not fight, you will only be shifting. So the first thing in any of these suggestions which come, you must see, is it operationally feasible? This is not only not operationally feasible, the maleficence of such articles are very clear. So I just thought I'll put all this across to you so that you don't get taken away by such people. And you think that, army is just sitting on land, for no reason or rhyme. I feel bad when, supposedly nationalist, what shall I say, newspapers come out with such articles. They're supposed to uphold and, respect the Fauj. Anyway, that's what I had to say today. So I'll take on your questions and what is it, whatever it is. Because this is a thing which is close to my heart. I've dealt with these things, I know. And all these articles are not true. Their intent is different. This is the builder lobby. Yeah. Let me see. Lot of talk and yeah. Let me see. I'll take questions. Yeah. High real estate value of cantonment land in the metros and large cities. There is a political civil pressure to throw the defense forces out and profit from land sale. That's what I said. This is all from that. It's all profit. Builder lobby. I've seen these builder lobbies very clearly. They cut across all party lines. I am openly saying they cut across BJP, they cut across Congress, they cut across TMC, they cut across DMK, every damn line. You can quote me. Yeah. So situation is dismal here. There is doom and gloom around in Germany, everyday closure and default by German firms. Yeah, because they are now overcommitted in China. They have to contract. They have to isolate China. If they allow China into EU, EU is finished. That's how it is. Yeah. Anjali Martins, hi. How's Connecticut going and how are prices in your nearby Walmart or your Target? Sir, for many years I've heard General Hasnain and others call BDK Fauj as a professional army, but no more, sir. When their Hafiz-e Quran chief is talking like this, I can't take them. Yeah, why? We've never taken them seriously. We only take them seriously for one thing: they can create trouble for us. Okay. Who is in the back foot in the tariff war? Very clearly, China. That's what I've said, Govind. There's no doubt. Okay. Yeah, Kumar, good evening. How are you? And Hans also, good evening. Everyone press the like button, please. I'll be more than happy if you do so. And also join Gunner Shot and subscribe to it. No way Malaysia will side with Vietnam, will side with China. They are not popular on the street. USA is. Yeah, I agree with you, Anjali. That's what I said. Xi Jinping has gone and QC has come out with all that thing. Nothing will happen. I have no doubt about it. Yeah. Trump will most likely announce zero income tax too. That will make investments in USA very attractive. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah. China banned rare earth shipments to India. What is your views on this? Also, General, please make one video on oil reserve find in Ganga Basin. Yes, I'll do that. But you please have a look at what I've two videos I've made on rare earths. One on rare earth in India and one on rare earths in general. At this point of time, China can't do much to us. What would an endgame that leads to an independent Baluchistan looks like? What will it take? Regime change in Pakistan, foreign intervention, multi-front war, Middle East style internal collapse? It's internal collapse. When economically Pakistan army cannot function, they'll split. Will that day come? Let's see. Because it depends on how internet. Look, let me put it. I think there is a glimmer of that. If there's a global recession, and Pakistan cannot get aid the way it is getting, or IMF won't give it all the loans, or China can't roll over loans, or China will not give any more loans. I doubt. They'll only roll over loans. Then what happens to Pakistan? Okay. In which case, you might find that Pakistan will come apart, it seems. Yeah. Enemy is a friend. Bharat and USA find reason to be on the same side of the fence for a change. Agree. Our position in the neighborhood is collapsing. I don't agree with you. at all. We are in a difficult state, but it's not collapsing. Bangladesh and Pakistan is what we have to handle. China's historic strategy of avoiding expeditionary efforts seems counterintuitive to their ambition of replacing the US as a hegemon. They've always been regional, inward looking. I think that's a very good point. They're not prepared to shed blood. No country has become a superpower without shedding blood, and they've not done it. So they'll not become a superpower. I agree with you that Trump has a plan. I think there seems to be a three-pronged approach: bring China to senses, shore up allies in Israel, and I don't know what else. Where else you read? Okay, what? Yeah, I think so. Questions about the way our neighbors treat us. For example, if you look at China, all of China's neighbors, yes, including us, would think 10 times before taking any action detrimental to China. But we don't cooperate with them, we don't trust them. Okay, that's the thing, right? The flip is also true. No one will do anything against China is completely true. As we become a tougher state, as we go up, as our influence increases, as our power increases, you will find the same thing happening. And we have to be a bit tough with all our neighbors. There's no doubt. Like Bangladesh, I have no doubt. And Bangladesh, the way I look at it, should be made an example of. Yeah, Bangladesh and Maldives are happy to engage. But that's the point. What you make is right. I think we need to put our danda out a bit. Yeah, it seems that China aims to make their neighbors fear them, whereas we try to owe our neighbors. Is China's approach better? I don't think China's approach is better. Neither do I think India's approach is good. You need to find a midway, carrot and stick. We've given too much of carrot, less of stick. Asim Munir sounded anti-Hindu, not anti-India. No, no, I don't. Let's not be very. Let's be very clear about all this nonsense. What you're talking. He is completely anti-India. Okay. How do you view the judiciary's role, not just in India, but say US in pandering to leftists? In our country, they're giving mandates to president in every US order is blocked. Well, that's the way our country is. And any court uh, tends to be leftist by nature of law. The law somehow, when in its final analysis, tends to favor the left. That's the mota thing. It doesn't favor the right. Okay, that's the history. And when in our country where we don't have political consensus, we don't have bipartisan views on many issues, we'll suffer these problems. His tone is like a politician. Well said. I agree with you completely. He's not a politician. He's a dictator. There's no Aman ki Asha, Amitesh. I think that is all over. No one bothers about it. Okay, what are the questions? Yeah, Asim looked around and looked like the Houthi rebel army chief. Don't you agree? Same uniform, same radical. Yeah, he's a rebel. That's about all. I agree with you. Yeah. Yeah, Imran Khan, the most popular leader in Pakistan, is jailed. Narendra Modi, the most popular leader in India, is a third time PM. That is a summary of India versus Pakistan in one line. I agree with you, Shet. There's no doubt about it. Right. Someone in Pakistan, someone said Pakistan is a hard state against soft targets like women, old people, journalists, and soft state against hard targets like TTP, TLP, and Taliban. I agree. Look, that state is going nowhere. That's it. Pakistanis consider themselves as Arabs. MBS, everyone laughs. दिल को बहलाने के लिए मुनीर ये बकवास अच्छा है. Yeah, I agree with you. Is it an attempt by Munir to play Zia all over again? I don't think so. I don't think he has the guts of a Zia. Zia had guts. Whatever you say, he had guts. Okay, and of course the geopolitical situation was different. Now the geopolitical situation is hardly anything like that. Pakistan doesn't have a voice. पूरा trade war हो रहा है. This chap is talking of something else here. Sir, you and General Shukla, I agree on tyranny of L1. My question is, how do you bring about a way that is specific procedure which can be overcome this without dealing with court cases? Yeah, there is a method. Okay, there is a method and it is applied. Okay, when you give L1 and you feel the numbers are more, okay, and one person shouldn't get the orders, you put it out, you take the L1 and then you say, okay, you will get 100, I'll give the other guy 100, provided he also accepts that L1 cost. There are methods, we've used it. Okay. Now I observe, I can see similarities between Munir and Z, both deeply insecure, perhaps undeserving of position, yet very ambitious and one of surpassed legacies of Zia and Mao. Z is not that indecisive or insecure. That fellow is pretty secure. He's ruthless, huh? The way he's gone about doing things. I think that fellow is a far sharper guy than this chap. This chap doesn't know what he's doing only, except holding on to power. Hmm. If all military units were to move into military station, then there is requirement of a 5 to 10 kilometer wide perimeter where civilians cannot enter without permission. Yeah, no, I don't think these are all extreme ideas. We can't enforce all that. If we can't enforce it, the government doesn't have the capability to do it. We don't have the capability to do it. No one has the capability to do it. You can't even sell 1 acre off without going through problems. If I tell you stories of what people have come, bureaucrats have come to me and said, "Sir, how can we do this?" I said, "Yeah, you do it, and after that, you forget being a joint secretary or additional secretary, or your career will go for a toss." A lot of politicians put a lot of pressure on bureaucrats in those land cases. Many times when I was in service, they used to come and consult me. Okay. And my thing was just go by law. Just go by law. Don't make new laws because every new law has a different angle. Okay. What's your take on US economy committing kamikaze against China? वो तो हो ही रहा है. Why should you do kamikaze? Why should you come do? He's doing with a plan. So he let him do. He will do kamikaze in the end. I don't think till then nothing will happen. Okay, which are the questions? Sir, Punjab has suffered 15 grenade attacks in the last 4-5 months. Last two grenade attacks in Jalandhar were carried out by Paki Shehzadi Bhatti, who openly gave the threat. Is Munir's speech a hint? See, Munir or anyone in Pakistan will continue with this, and we have to live with this. Till the time you don't start doing it the other side. As simple as that. And the time has come when you have to start doing it. Sir, please share some more such real life incidents someday. Sure, I will. I hope you enjoyed it, all of you. Yeah. Yeah, I have an idea. Let's annex Rangpur Chattogram. GB, Aksai Chin, we can shift our cantonments there. That's a nice one. Don't you think that India has Pakistan lovers, a crooked match happens, and Venusian Sindabad slogans are heard in India? I think two nation theory still lives in India in a community. They're fools. There are some people who believe in that. There are there. And I think we have to deal with them very strictly. That's about all. What do we all require to do? What all do we require for artillery modernization? A lot. We need a lot. And artillery is today the most modernized arm of the Indian Army. And it's an ongoing process. People are doing the best. This thing. Cantonments are the lungs of our country and our safety net. Shifting cantonments is a suicidal idea. I agree with you, Ravi Malhotra, but money matters. And all these chaps are all paid artists who come out with such articles. Look, how are these Pakis so confident? Look, they're very confident even though they're getting beaten up and all because of the nuclear power. The day they get defanged, everything will be okay. Yeah. I see a lot of people comparing Asim Munir with Yahya Khan. Do you see a similarity between them? Also, why do you think Russia is in Bangladesh? Russia and Bangladesh is a story. It's not there really. So don't worry about it. Let's see how it comes out. Okay. Then Yahya Khan was more adventurous than this fellow, Asim Munir. Let me be very honest. This fellow is a coward, the way I look at it. Military land should be reserved for future expansion. I don't have a doubt. Yeah, Bhopal, Pune, Kanpur were cantonment and were nucleus of city development. However, it can't. Yeah, there are a lot of problems. I am also not for these cantonments. Many of these cantonments should be merged with the cities. Many. I mean, I'm being very open about it because development of a city has to be holistic. When cities like Pune, Kent, and Pune city has intermingled. So in one street you get water from one scheme, and in other street you get water from another scheme. Very funny. And there's a differential in the way you apply that scheme to this the Kent area and to Pune Municipal Corporation area. Where the Pune Municipal Corporation area gets money through the central government through PM Vikas Yojana. That is not given to Kent. It's very funny. So those are problems. You have to sort out the problems, learn how to coexist well. That's more important than saying you throw all the Faujis out. Where will they go? And why should they go out? Okay. They didn't come there by invitation. No Fauji goes to cantonment by invitation. He's gone there by posting. Why is he got the posting there? Because the government of India feels he should be there. Okay. Right. I think we've done with the whole thing. Thanks a lot for all of you who have joined me today. And I hope you liked it. If you liked it, do press the like button. And I've covered 3 topics. I'll put these out separately tomorrow. Until then, thanks a lot. For the next 1 week, I might not be appearing too much. But on 23rd, we'll have a talk with General Brigadier Sehgal on a very interesting topic. This is what will a India-China detente look like? Okay, at some point of time, we have to mend our fences with China. And when that mending happens or doesn't happen, what will be a detente and how will it look? We'll do that on 23rd. Till then, thank you, good evening, and Jai Hind to all of you.